Get Out is directed by Jordan Peele and is the 2017 horror film that brings some very positive messages that the audience will love, and especially I loved. And it follows a man named Chris and his girlfriend. So one day Chris is invited by his girlfriend for a weekend getaway upstate with Missy and Dean, the relatives of Chris's girlfriend. And at first, Chris reads the family's overly accommodating behavior as nervous attempts to deal with their daughter's interracial relationship. But as the weekend progresses, a series of increasingly disturbing discoveries lead him to a truth that he never could have imagined. Now, when I first saw this movie, I didn't really think it was going to be like the best horror movie ever. I did hear some good things about it. I did hear some bad things about it. But I didn't really have any anticipation of watching the movie. But when this movie did end, I had to recommend it as one of the best horror movies of the 2010s. Ever since this movie came out, everyone else has seen it, and they've been telling me that it's a great movie. I haven't seen it yet, but after it came out, I was kind of mad that I haven't seen it because I heard it was a great movie. But I started to watch it. I started to watch it at my home on a website, and it was very enjoyable. I really enjoyed the movie a lot. I think it was a well-written horror movie. And another thing that I looked through in this movie does involve some events like racism and discrimination and stuff like that in real-life situations that actually happen. And the people who made this movie actually do have a great job, do a great job of capturing those situations. But the first time I saw this movie, I realized that the movie had some like secrets, because in a lot of horror movies they have secrets, and the first time you watch a horror movie that involves secrets like ghosts and stuff like that, you get kind of confused and stuff like that, and you're not really sure on what's happening in the story. But I watched it the second time, and the second time I watched it, I picked more onto the movie, and I found it kind of a scary movie. But overall, for a horror movie, there isn't really anything like anything like a lot of jump scares. I mean, there is in one particular jump scare in the beginning of the movie, which I'm not gonna spoil, but it's just like thrown at you. It isn't like a ghost or anything like coming to actually kill you. It's just like thrown at you. But I'm not gonna spoil the jump scare. If you haven't seen the movie, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Just watch the movie if you want to see it. And when it comes to horror movies, I love the horror genre. I'm a big fan of the horror genre, and I heard a lot of good things about this movie. It won 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. It won a good score on IMDb, and I had to watch it because I heard it was very good. And I didn't expecting it to be like the best movie ever. I just wanted it to be great, and you know what? It was. I had a lot of fun with Get Out. It was a very great storytelling. And the thing that I love about horror movies is they bring up stuff that you do not expect. Like, there is one scene in this movie where I'm not gonna spoil once again. It's like a particular scene. It involves Chris and his girlfriend, and it involves both of them and the families around them and stuff like that. Where I'm only gonna spoil one part. I'm only gonna spoil one part so you can just like get what's going on. So Chris is trying to leave because he has found out that there's something going on with the family, and there's something that between Chris and his girlfriend, and something happens, and it's just crazy. It blew me away, and I think it blew all of the audiences away, which I think those are those kind of secrets that surprise horror fans, and I love that. I appreciate that. But overall, for the movie, the acting was great. I think the acting was fantastic, actually, in this movie. The storyline was good. And I thought the quality on the movie looked fantastic. I mean, I haven't seen like great camera quality in horror movies since The Shining came out, which is definitely the best horror movie in history, in my opinion. But the camera work in this movie is absolutely amazing. I'll have to give it credit for that, and the acting and the storyline. Those are the credits that I'm going to give for the movie. It's incredibly well made. Which brings me to some of my flaws of the film. So my issues with the movie revolve around a few things. Like, there are some scenes that they put in the movie that don't really have to be there. I mean, we do get what's going on in the movie. However, there are some scenes that are there. We don't really know why they're there. But it's not like I looked at some of those scenes and said, I don't like watching it. It just kind of felt like a departure for the rest of the film, and stuff like that. And some of the scenes that they bring up are fine, but we kind of already, in the middle, we kind of already have an understanding of what's happening in the rest of the film and stuff like that. And now let me talk about the actors in the film. First off, Daniel Kaluuya. I think he did a fantastic. He was like, he was the, in my opinion, he was the actor that carried the entire film. His performance was great. I was definitely surprised by his performance. He had some charisma. He was brave. He was focused on what he was doing. Like, there are some scenes in the movie where you can tell that he's focused on what he's doing and not focusing on anything else. And that's what I love about actors. That's great acting. That is pure great acting right there. And Allison Williams, she was a great part of the film too. I also liked Bradley Whitford, Catherine Keener, Calabalandre Jones. But I think the second best actor in this film is Lil Rel Howery. I mean, he played one of those likable characters, like those characters in horror movies, between the good characters, the bad characters, and the a-hole characters. Out of those three, he was in the good roster, and he was those likable characters. He wasn't the bad or the a-hole character. He was one of those likable characters, and that's what I like about those horror movies. They bring up characters that you like and you care about them. In other horror movies, they just bring up people so they can like get killed by the suspect. And sometimes when they do that, it does work, but it does get too much of itself. Like, for example, Friday the 13th, that has like 12 movies today. Halloween, 10 movies. A Nightmare on Elm Street, maybe 10 or 7. And Chucky, I think that has 6 movies. It's about to have 7 soon. That's an example of just bringing up a person and just slaughtering it and stuff like that. But this movie actually has a great job of showing potential. I love the backstories that it brings into the movie and how Chris's mother died and stuff like that, and he couldn't save her and stuff like that, and he was being like hypnotized in the chair and stuff like. He was being hypnotized in a chair, and I'm not gonna spoil the rest and stuff like that. If you guys want to know the rest, definitely watch the movie. But overall, for a horror movie, if you're a person who loves horror like me, and if you want to see something like gore and fashion and stuff like that, you're not going to find a lot of gore in this movie. But if you want to see something like gore, I prefer to watch something more along the lines of maybe The Evil Dead. Or if you have a chance, try to watch The Purge. But overall, this movie was great. It surprised me on so many levels. It involves racism, horror, and stuff like that, and that's what I love. And when it comes to racism, I'm not a racist person. Like, I have a lot of friends that are white, black, Hispanic, Latino. I don't care what anyone's race is and stuff like that. I'm that person who, like, loves like everyone equally. And I hope you guys are like that too, because this movie definitely brings us lessons and stuff like that we should all know. And Jordan Peele absolutely pulled it off on trying to show this in our horror genre. And for that, I'm going to give Get Out an A-. So you guys, thank you for watching me do a horror movie review of Get Out. What did you think about it? Comment down below, let me know, and if you guys want me to see me do more horror movies, tell me what horror movie review you want me to do of. I was planning on seeing Logan, maybe The Fate and the Furious, and I'll probably do movie reviews on that some other time. I did a movie review today because I haven't done movie reviews in a while, so I have to get back to some movie reviews, and I will be doing gameplay videos and reaction videos. But before I leave, I want to give a couple of shout-outs to some special people. Shout out to Marco, George, and Julian Lamas. And I also want to give a special shout out to someone who gave me this. It's a Bowser amiibo from Mario Party. Yeah, it's very cool. And shout out to my auntie, Tansha. She bought me this. Looney Tunes collection, something like that. 28 shorts or episodes, and I'm gonna take this to college with me for my like movie collection and stuff like that. So anyway, yeah, thank you guys for watching me do a horror movie review of Get Out, and as always, I am Mario Fan 520, and I will see you next time. Peace out.